Just a quick video today. I'm gonna rearrange, and add and redo my booth at the one antique mall. Actually, two antique malls, and I'm hoping to pick up a sign out of a guy's house. I'll probably only show you the one antique mall. It's a little bit easier to film in there. But I want to talk about how to be successful in an antique mall. It's not always obvious, and it's not easy for sure, but it can be done.
Always be selling. First, I got a mail and eBay sale. This mall is only about 15 minutes away. That's nice. The first key is to pick a place where the rent isn't too high, or too high to make money, really. And that's hard to do without knowing or having experience in it, but you can go by and maybe check it out a couple times and see if there's enough foot traffic to justify the booth rent you'll be paying. Another thing is to think about what works best in certain malls. Every place has a different vibe. I'm in three, and they all kind of sell slightly different stuff. Although I rotate between the three, and I also buy certain stuff that's just for the antique malls, and I don't use I use a lot of show merchandise in the malls, but the malls aren't exclusively show merchandise for sure. I have stuff that I sell that doesn't work in shows, or really isn't good enough to take to shows, but is perfectly good to sell in an antique mall. Then, of course, you also want to rotate your stock as much as possible. In this video, I think I've added 14 or 15 items to this mall. I try to go once every 2 weeks. If I sell something big or sell a bunch of stuff, I'll go in between then. But I typically add maybe 15 to 20 things a month, sometimes more. Obviously, if I'm doing 15 this one trip. I only have about 75 or maybe even only 60 items in this booth. It's not very big. But if I bring in 20 things a month or 15 things a month, the booth will completely change over in a couple of months. I probably sell about 10 items a month. So some items might last 6 months, but I try not to let them last any longer than that. Even beyond just bringing new stuff in, it helps to rearrange some of the stuff. I'll often, if I sell something, I'll move something that's been sitting there for a while into that spot and then put the new item into the other item's older spot, so that it looks sort of like two new items. You gotta shake it up a little bit. There are definitely customers that come in monthly or every other month or something, and you want it to look different for them. Success becomes cyclical, I guess, in a way. The more you sell, the more new stuff you bring in, and so the more you sell in the future. But it definitely helps to change it around. If you're not selling much, restock it. That can help. You don't always need fresh merch. Sometimes you just need fresh customers. So moving it from mall to mall helps if you have booths in multiple malls. Another key is price point. That's often tricky to figure out, but I don't swing for the fences with most stuff I put in the malls. If I only paid $10 for something and I think it's worth 40, I might only ask 20 or 25 for it. My thought is I might be able to sell that object 2 or 3 times for 20 in the time it would take me to get 40 for it. So in the long run, I would make more money. You know, the object takes up whatever, you can only fit 60 objects in your booth at a time. The faster you sell them, the more you can bring in and the more you'll sell in the long run. The final key is to make your booth attractive. I'm not sure how good I am at this, but I do work hard at it and try to improve. I think one key is not to put too much in. The booth has to breathe. The stuff has to breathe. The customers need to see it. So if you jam too much in there, which is tempting when you're paying rent for a spot, it just hurts you in the long run because you sell less because people can't get in there or they can't see the stuff for what it is. I don't make a killing in the antique malls, but I do make profit, and it all adds up, and it's part of my overall living as a dealer. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe, and if you're in the Lewes, Delaware area, check out Heritage Antiques on Route 1. Thanks for watching. See you on the trails.